Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Pro Podcast. And tonight we have another very, very special guest. His accolades are actor, Arthur. Gosh, man, look at it. Motivational speaker, and more importantly, 1993 national champion of the great Florida State Seminoles. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the great Connell Spain. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing wonderful, man. Feeling good, So I'm just glad to be here, man. Talking with you, chopping it up, man. It's been a journey, my brother, but God is good, man.
All the time, man. So you're from Melbourne. Let me give you a quick story. Today we had to run. I live in Pensacola right now,
Okay.
so uh, I work for a company, and we had to drive a kid that broke down all the way back up to Melbourne today.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So that happened early this morning. So I was like, okay, wow, we just drove a guy to Melbourne.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So tell us about your high school playing days, right quick, Connell.
Yeah, so I played at Melbourne High School. Was played there for 3 years, and happened to be good enough to be an All American and All District and All Regional Player, Defensive Player of the Year, along with my good friend Kenny Holmes that year. Was able to play in the Florida Georgia game, and was able to beat them and carry on my talents on to the greatest university that was ever created,
You
which was
better
Florida
preach.
State.
You better preach. Say it loud for them losers in the back. You
Yeah,
better preach.
yeah.
So let me ask you this: uh, who in high school that the viewers would know that you played against that went on to play college or pro football that you got to play against in high school?
Well, one of the guys is Kenny Holmes, who was
Kenny
my best.
Holmes. Okay,
Kenny, he was the best man in my wedding as well. He played at Miami University and
he
went first
did.
round to
He
I
did.
believe it at the time it was the Houston Oilers or the Tennessee Titans. So yeah, man. So Kenny Holmes was a great athlete that I played against that went on to do amazing things, man.
Yeah, yeah. Kenny Holmes was a bad man. I'm a Seminole fan, and I don't like his choice of colleges, but he's
Yeah,
all right
right.
with me. Bro, you mentioned earlier, you were a dog in high school. You were the 1991 Defensive Player of the Year
Right.
there. Tell us about that because Brevard just breed dogs. So how
Right.
were you able? How were you able to, you know, outshine a lot of these guys to win that?
Well, when I was a youngster, man, when I was a little kid, in my younger days, I always wanted to play little league football.
Okay.
However, back then it was all about a weight class, and if you was, overweight, you couldn't play. So I kind of carried that grudge until I got to junior high school, and I was able to play my first year in junior high school, man, and I just became really good at it, man. God blessed me to be quick off the ball and be able to play different positions. And so when I got to high school, man, I was already like years ahead of a lot of guys that were behind me or with me, and it just stuck with me, man. And I loved it so much. I worked at it, and got better every year. Pushed myself, and just really, man, just honed in on my skills. And high school was great for me, man. It allowed me to really mature in football and really. Understand football from a competitive standpoint. And, I was able to be good enough to get a scholarship during those times in the 90s at, the greatest school in American history, which is Florida State. So, uh, you know, so I love, I love high school football. It taught me a lot of what I learned and took to Florida State, and it was great, man. It was great. I was just honored to have so many awards in my high school days, and that I earned. So it feels good when you earn something that you really work hard for.
You better preach. You better say it again. So, adding to your point. I read where this was always your dream to play football.
Mhm.
Touch on that a little bit, a little bit more.
Right. So I remember when I was a little kid, I used to sit in front of my TV when I was a little kid with my helmet on, and it was too big for my head, so I was just my Dallas Cowboy helmet. I just take it in, and it go woo 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 around my head. But I used to watch football all the time, and I can't. I don't know if it was. I don't know what it was. I just love football. I love it. I guess people hitting each other and things of that nature. And so I naturally gravitated towards defensive line, although I did play center and tight end, things of that nature. But I love the defensive line. I love chasing down the ball. So, um, man, for me it was everything, man. It was everything that I needed as a young kid to kind of make sure it was steering me in the right direction, and it just for me it did wonders. I took taekwondo karate class, as they say back in the day, and that really helped me with my flexibility and being quick off the ball and things of that nature. So, um, yeah, man, I wouldn't change it for the world. Football, though it was tough work, it was a blessing to be able to do something you really love, and I just love football, man. Still to this day, I just love it, man. Especially right now, we winning. We know we 8-0, baby. So, to all the haters, ha 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 in the back, cause y'all
That's
been
what I'm
screaming,
talking
y'all been
about.
they been microphoning us for the last 7-8 years, boy. So yeah, y'all getting it back right now.
I know that's right.
See you in the CFP.
Yeah.
CFP, yeah. Mhm.
Right, bro. I'm so happy for us. But let's get back on. So you said I was gonna ask you what other sports did you play, and you said taekwondo or karate classes. Was that the only other thing that you did?
In high school, I also played basketball. And the only reason I quit, I think I played my junior and senior year. Senior year, I quit because I needed to start. I needed to stop the start. I needed to stop so I could pass the SAT. So I had to make a choice. So I had to. But I love basketball too, man. I played basketball in junior high school, high school. I was
Okay.
pretty doggone good too, man.
Okay.
I was pretty doggone good, but I knew football was that thing that was gonna catapult me as a player in the professional world, in the playing football and things, playing a sport. I mean, I love basketball too, but football was my first heart.
Absolutely, man. You better say you were good at both of them. You know blooded, so you had to be good at both of them.
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about your recruiting process. Who comes to visit you, and when did you start getting the notice? It's like, okay, uh, as far as offers go, and who started noticing you other than Florida State?
Well, I think my first letter came from Syracuse, and after my first year in high school. But man, after around my 11th grade year, man, I'm telling you, it was crazy. I probably had a garbage can full, but when I got my senior year, it was like 2, 3 garbage can full. I mean, it was crazy, man. I could have went to any college in the world, any college in the country.
Yeah.
From small schools to the biggest ones. So I could have, I had to pick of the litter. Had Coach Bowden come to the house. At that time, Coach Paterno came to the house. So it was,
Wow.
I mean, from a small town to see them type people coming, to your city for you. I mean, it was some times where I would come out to practice. It's a little different now, but when I was getting recruited, man, it used to be like oh my God. Sometimes be like 15, 20 coaches out there, 30 coaches out there from different Division I schools that's out there just to look at me, and I'm like, wow, so at practice. So it was crazy, man. It was crazy, man. And end up choosing 5 locations I wanted to go visit,
Okay.
and I did that and ended up, it was close for a minute there. I was looking at Penn State, Georgia Tech, Miami, Florida State. I ultimately decided on Florida State because I wanted to be further away from home, but not too far away from my mom and
I
dad can
get it.
come visit. So
I get it.
Miami was it was one of them places I liked, but I don't know if I was ready for Miami back then in the '90s.
No, no, we weren't. I'm glad you made that right decision to come home with us because I don't think we win the national championship without you and some more of us. So, so it came down. You said it was close between Penn State and Florida State.
Yeah,
What
it was
did
Penn State, Georgia Tech, and Florida State. Yeah,
okay? It's Penn State, Georgia Tech, and Florida State.
yeah.
What put you over the top? It
Um,
just made Florida State. What made it Florida State and everybody else
I
not
think
no go?
I think a couple things there. One is when I went to one. I think one biggest thing is the cold weather. That cold weather up there was at Penn State was chopping, boy. I'm talking about. Woo-wee. So yeah, that right there kind of dented them plans up right there. So uh, but at Florida State, man, it was like it felt like I was at home. You know, it was a little country town. Um, you know, I'm from a town. It's more of a city town, I guess, but it had that. It's growing now, but
Oh
it
yeah,
had that feeling back then of the same type of atmosphere I was used to.
right.
So and when I got there, man, it just felt right. The guys felt right. Um, the tradition felt right, and when then I went to a game. I think it was a '91 when they lost to Miami. I think it was a wide right, a wide left,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, man, I got to come here, man, because it just like I don't know what it was. It just really felt right, man. And I was like, I got to come here, man. And I'm glad I did, man, because I don't like orange and blue, and I definitely don't like orange and green. For real.
So, bro, I love that answer, man, because every recruit says that Florida State just feels like home soon as you get there.
Yeah,
So let's go on to you're probably an Odell Higgins guy. I'm sure you are.
yeah,
You're
absolutely. He was my coach my senior year
okay.
in '96. That we when we went to the national championship against Florida or against them little lizards that we lost to. For real.
so so tell us a little bit about your um your relationship with Coach Bobby and what were your feelings when he left us? And then
Um,
tell us a little bit about your relationship with Coach Higgins.
right, right. So, Coach Bob, man, he was, first time I ever met him, he came to my house and sat on my couch and ate mama food and it was just he just felt right, as a coach. When I got to college, it was always, how your mom doing, how this and he made you always feel like you was a part of. And I, a lot of people don't know, like Coach Bowden ain't really never coached like that. He would go up in his little stand up there and just, but he was a coach. He would allow his coaches to be head coaches every day in practice, and that's partly what made us better than, you know, uh, better during those times in my opinion, because they had the freedom to be themselves, and coach allowed us as men, as young men, to be ourselves, without jeopardizing the culture of Florida State and things of that nature. Things happen, but coach was a coach. He loved his players, man. And
Yeah.
he was gonna go to war with you, he was gonna fight with you, he gonna get in the locker room and cut a couple cuss words every now and then if he had to, with the Bible in his hand and keep it moving. But that was our leader. And when it was time to go to work on Saturday, he had some real soldiers to do that. So
He
um,
did.
Yeah. So Coach Odell, man, he just had the pedigree. He left pedigree for the time he was there. He was actually my D line coach my senior year. And
Okay.
that year, it was the starting line was uh, Andre Wadsworth, myself, Peter Bowl, and Renard Wilson. So, it was lights out. And
Bro, that is
so
Fort
I
Knox.
always tell them we got you off to a good start.
Yeah, that is Fort Knox. You
Yeah.
understand me? Good Lord. So uh I'll give you a quick Coach Bowden story. And before I do that, uh we had Donald Heaven on the show.
Yeah, I
Uh
know Don. I played with Donald.
yeah, we
Yeah.
had him on the show, and he said the exact same thing you said as far as Coach Bowden is concerned. He coached the coaches.
Hmm.
And I was like, okay, this just resonated with me because Donald just said the same thing. And by the way, probably need to reach out to him. I'm not sure if you heard his wife is not doing so well. So
Oh,
yeah, so I got his number if you don't. So
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
I'll definitely do that.
yeah, I'll give it to you after the show. So quick story, right quick. Uh I grew up in foster care, and it's not too far from Tallahassee at
Hmm.
the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch. It's you've seen it on those signs going back and forth
Hmm.
from. So I grew up right there, and I would write Coach Bobby like I'm about 13 or 14 years old at the time, and I would write him and say, Coach, I want to come play for you, blah blah blah, and I'm in foster care, and you know what? I did never think I would get a letter back from him, but he would write me back all the time. I wrote him.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept saying, I hope I'm not pestering him, but he would write me, even if I didn't write him, to see how I was doing. And he always would tell me, stay. He would never say, I'm going to sign you, but he would always say, keep your dreams alive, son. And he always ended the letter with son.
Yes.
And so I love Coach Bobby for that, man. I'll never forget him for that.
Right. Yeah. Great man. Great man. I miss him, man. It's like when he left, man. It was like you know part of the cavalry was gone. You know what I mean? Our leader was gone, but he knew that on Saturdays the cavalry was coming. The cavalry was
Oh yeah,
coming to bail him out.
yeah.
So and I just we all miss him, man. Sometimes in life it get tough, man, and you can hear Coach Andrews, screaming in the back of your brain like "Don't give up" or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times, man, it has helped me over these years. It's funny you say you're in foster care because at this moment, within the next 90 days, I'm gonna have my first group home open,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, for at-risk kids. So we're gonna try to do 3 to 5 of them over the next six to 18 months.
Keep me posted
Um,
on that because I have a youth foundation. Keep me posted on that
I
and see
sure
if I can
will.
help. Yeah. So wow, bro, that's amazing, man. See, you're a busy dude, bro.
Yeah, very.
So let's go back to your football days. So, bro, you signed with the Knowles in '92. Okay. Then the next year, you and Charlie Ward and all of you guys are winning a national championship.
Yeah,
Explain that atmosphere around that time, bro.
man, it was wild, man. It was just off the chain, man. It felt like at the time we were like the 32nd or 33rd NFL team, the fourth NFL team in the state, man, and about the 32nd or 33rd in the league. But man, I'm telling you, Tallahassee was on fire, man. It was like if we ever lost, it felt like the world came to an end. But
It did. It
yeah,
really did.
it was just an Ari feeling, man, but it was just so crazy because we really, man, we people say they ran the city. Yeah, nah, we ran the city, and it was crazy, man. Like winning the national championship. Like I was looking the other day, and my little cousin went to the Syracuse game, and actually I missed that weekend. I was just talking to Andre Cooper earlier, but I missed that weekend, and they was doing a 30-year reunion for the national championship this past weekend, and
Right.
I missed it. But my little cousin was there. He was pointing at my name on the side of the stadium for the with the plaque on it, and you just think back, man. It's like, wow, man, like your name for going to be forever on this stadium until they tear it down. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just those type of memories and playing with people like Charlie Ward and Derek Brooks, Ward Dunn, and I mean Corey Fuller, I mean Clifton Abraham, and
Corey
Devin
Sawyer,
Bush. Of course, I mean I can go
Richard
on and
Coles,
on.
all them
Yeah,
guys. Good Lord, man.
I can go on and on, man. That the type of, I mean, Walter Jones, who's now in the Hall of Fame. I mean, it
Yeah.
just I can go on and on. These people that I practice with every day, and I always tell people, man, the hardest the hardest game we ever had was in practice every day.
That's what you know who said that? You know who also said that? James Colsey said the
Oh
exact
yeah,
same thing.
yeah, yeah. JC, yeah, yeah. We played together for 3 years. So yeah, he dead on, man. We tore up that practice field, man, and but we made each other better every day. We practice hard, man. When you got a coach like Andrews and Coach Amato and Coach Glad, man, oof, man. I remember
Bro.
my first 2 days. I had to question myself. I had to call mama like, man, what I done got myself into, man. This thing is rough.
Bro, yeah, he told me about you guys' practices. He's like sometimes he said when the DBs had to go against guys like Lavernius Coles, Peter Warwick, Randy Moss,
One
and all
on
that.
one.
Yeah, and he said James told me that they called Randy Moss. They had a name for him. They called him the demoter.
Yeah, because you get beat, you gonna get demoted. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I can tell
Wow.
you one thing. If we would have had Randy Moss back then, man, I'm telling you, man, it would have been ugly.
Bro, Connell, I think you guys win 3 in a row if Randy
Easy.
stays, because he's not going to stay all four. But
Right.
I think you guys win 3 in a row, and I've been telling people that. You plus, oh my gosh, the the thoughts.
Yeah.
Ooh, oh, bro, tell me about some of your accolades that you go and win in college.
Uh, my first year, I mean, people may think it's nothing, but I think it's something. Like my very first year, I won Scout Team Player of the Year,
That is something.
and I say that because when you're on a team, you have to play your role.
Hmm.
And for me, I looked at coming in my freshman year, even though I knew I wasn't going to play that year. I wanted to make sure I better my teammates. So when they went to war,
You had them
they were
ready.
prepared.
That's
And
right.
so I came out every day with the attitude that I got to do what I can to help my team. And
Mhm.
still to this day, I carry that as a CEO, and and I teach mine. I still that, you got to play a role. You got to play a role within this team because back then that wasn't really like you coming in and playing like that. You was gonna earn that back then, and
Right.
no matter how good you were. I mean, hell, Peter Warwick even said it for said his first year because we were just that deep. But
Yeah.
um, but it's and then after that, my senior year, I was all ACC along with a few other guys on that '96 team. Um, man, I actually made. Let's go to education. So education, I was
Yeah, that was my next question.
yeah,
That was
all ACC academic honor roll,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's what I was looking at. Yeah.
yeah. So yep, and one. I think my senior year as well. I won the. Let me get the award right. The it's a God, I can't even think. It's called a Bob something award. When it's basically when somebody get hurt, and you come back and you do well, you win that award. So I won that my senior year too. But I just, man, at the end of the day, I won the award of being a great teammate. Just being a pure good teammate and somebody who's willing to work hard and be a part of something that's great, man. And at the end of the day, man, and obviously at the end of the day, I'm a national champion, baby. all day, every day, and 12 times on Saturday.
Yeah.
For real.
Man, you wild.
Nobody can take that away. So,
Bro, for real. So look, I'm looking a little bit more at your education, bro. You left there with a business degree and a criminal justice degree.
yeah.
How did that make your parents feel? Because that's what I have to know.
So I wanted so my first year, it makes me feel great too because my first year was crazy because I almost got kicked out of Florida State because I was partying too hard my freshman year.
Oh no.
So yeah, I went from a lot of D's and F's to some A's and B's real quick. But so yeah, man. I ended up getting my undergrad from Florida State in criminal justice, and I received my master's in business administration after that.
Okay.
But you know what? It's a beautiful feeling, man, because a lot of times I tell people, whether you're a CEO or whatever the case may be, or electrician or whatever, a lot of times when people understand what your background look like, they're more apt to open that door so you can get in and talk to the big wigs. And for me, I
Mhm.
always just wanted to be complete. I always wanted to be a complete person, So I just felt like education in general is what is a great thing. Whether it's it's a trade or whatever, you can still have great education in that, or whatever the case may be. But I was I believe in education.
Bro, I see that. Bro, I've been sitting here reading on you for the past 9 days. You understand me?
Right
I've been
on.
sitting here reading on you for the past 9 days. And I was like, this may be the the most busiest Florida State guy and maybe the most popular Florida State guy that people don't know about. So
Right.
I was impressed. I've been talking about you all week. Okay, so now you play your last down at Florida State. Now what? The NFL comes calling. You don't get drafted, and I don't know how in the hell you don't.
Okay.
But, but I just don't understand that. Get picked up by the Chargers. What's that like? You get over there and play with Junior Seau and who's the running back that they had? Is it Terrell Fletcher? And
Terrell Fletcher. Terrell
yeah,
Fletcher. Yeah.
one of the best moves I ever seen was by that guy. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I got picked up by San Diego. Man, yeah, I think for anybody who just came off a national championship year in
Mhm.
'96, you would have thought I would, get drafted somewhere. But when
Mhm.
you don't, obviously it's very, very disappointing, um, heartbreaking to say the least. But you just find a way to keep going, and you get picked up, and you have an opportunity to sign with a team, and again, that's a dream. So you get there, and you get a few games in, and then in a nutshell, it's all over with. So, um, but you know, I, I enjoyed the experience. I was thankful. I was able to still play football after that by transitioning into the Arena League,
Yeah, let's
and
let's talk about that because I see you played 5 seasons there. Am I right?
6 seasons. Yeah,
See,
six
I was gonna
seasons.
say 5 or 6 because I was trying to make sure. I
Yeah,
see a season that they don't actually count, but I had to look deeper. And I'm
right.
saying to myself, this is 6 seasons.
Yeah.
So you win a championship there with Orlando, the
Yeah.
Predators. What do you get when you win a championship for the Arena League?
Well, you get a nice fat old ring, just like you do in the National Natty Championship.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a beautiful year, man. And it's one of them situations where I just wanted to play football,
Yeah.
and Arena League at that time, man, was had great athletes in it. I'm talking about you had uh, Antonio Brown father who played in the Arena League.
Oh wow.
You had Barry Wagner who was an all pro, all league arena leaguer. You had a lot of great athletes that was in Arena League that was just on the cusp of not making the NFL team. So back then the competition was tough. Um, And so I was able to get picked up by the Orlando team with Jay Gruden and
Okay. Okay.
who was the head coach of Washington Commanders for Redskins for a few years, and he was the also his brother is John Gruden.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was great, man. It was a great ride. I mean, it was fun, man. You know, I ended up playing there. Then I got traded to the New England team, and then up to Canada, the
Okay.
Canada Arena team. So, yeah, man, I had a ball, man, and actually played against a couple of guys I played with at Florida State,
Who'd you
and
play against? So I want to
I,
hear that.
I played against Sean Hamlet. I played against
Oh,
Terrence Marion.
oh.
Yeah, I think a couple other guys. I just can't. My brain right now ain't working too tough, but yeah,
Man,
it was
you
a few
busy.
guys
That's
I
why
played with.
you so busy, man. I don't. I'm a busy guy, but I don't know how you do it. I don't
I
know how you
tell
do
you,
it, Connell. So let me ask you this.
compartmentalized.
Yeah, something.
Yeah,
So what is the difference between the two leagues? And by that I mean as far as camaraderie goes, uh, because I've asked a couple of basketball players these questions, and they say the same thing you said when it comes to making your decision to play at Florida State. It just one of them just felt better as far as a family and friend standpoint.
right. So I think far as far as how I felt playing football,
Mm.
I mean, to me, it was football, baby,
Mhm.
at the highest level. So it was they would buckle up and go get them. The money was different, but we flew on planes and all that other stuff, stayed in hotels and
Okay.
all that good stuff. So it
Okay.
was just really like the amount of people on the field is different. The field size is different. The money, I guess the money is different, but as
Yeah.
far as overall, man, we had a blast, man. Like I had a absolute blast playing arena football, um, and just and just having that competition. I think my
Yeah.
first year I made first team AFL rookie of the first team AFL rookie team, and almost won rookie of the year.
Yeah. I
And
read where you was on first team over there. I read that.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
it's man, I had a ball, man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. My journey is what it is. I think everybody want to leave and go first round and make millions, and sometimes you got to make it another way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
sometimes you got to get it from the muscle. So
But just like you said, it's not everybody's path. So
right,
the path is narrow. So now here is one of my favorite parts while I was reading up on you. You're an actor.
yeah, I've been in
So
here.
so tell us about that because you were in an epic movie,
Yeah,
Any
any
Given
given
Sunday.
Sunday, yes,
Now,
sir. Yeah, yeah.
how did you land that role, and how did they notice you? How did they pick you up?
Yeah. So at the time, I was still playing arena football, and
Uh-huh. Okay.
they were shooting another movie. Gosh, what's the other movie with Adam Sandler?
Was it Waterboy or
Waterboy.
okay?
And so some of my teammates was in that movie. So some of the same people that was shooting that movie was started to shoot this Any Given Sunday movie. So we had to go down and audition, and I was casted as a football player in the movie, and so I got credits and all that good stuff, and
Wow.
yeah, man, it was a blast, man. We shot with obviously LL and Jamie and Al Pacino, and being your first movie, you don't even know what being on the small set is because you go right to the big show, and still to this day that movie is getting played, and I see people call me or text me or inbox me, yo, I just saw you on this, and I'm like, yo, yeah, that's me.
Now I'm fixing to go watch it now. So
Yeah.
so let me ask you this because this is something that some of my friends asked me to ask you. Were you there when Jamie and LL got in the fight? And I, I'm gonna tell you my argument with this because LL is my favorite rapper. Jamie Foxx is my favorite comedian. So you can understand my conflict in this.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
I was right there, bro. I mean,
wow.
I saw it. You know, you saw the cameras moving in action, and it was a different type of action. So yeah, man, it was some eyeballs getting scratched and all type of stuff, man. But
Oh wow.
yeah, it was a knockdown drag out, man, and you know,
Ooh.
but they was able to professionally get it back together and make a great movie. So but you know, I talk to Bill Bellamy still sometime, and you know, so I wish all them guys the best, man. Like, you know, we did something, we made something that's literally forever lasting, man. Like that, like I said, that was back in '99. That movie still plays to this day.
Well, yeah, it does. A funny story. I met Bill Bellamy. I was a bouncer uh, back home when Panama City used to be the thing, the place to be. I was a
Hmm.
bouncer at the club there, Club La Vila, for
Hmm.
17 years, and I got to meet Bill. He he wants everything on a silver platter, but I
Yeah,
like him. I like Bill. So
yeah, Bill good. Yeah, he you know, Bill got a lot of countryness to him from down south. 'Cause Bill grew up in Jacksonville for a part of his life.
oh, he one of us then.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, he
yeah,
got family in Florida, and you know, he just had grew up in Newark a while, and then you
yeah.
know, but yeah, he's a down souther.
You also know who else is from Jacksonville that was born in Jacksonville?
Cool.
Mace. Mace was born in
Mates,
Jacksonville.
yeah, that's right, that's
Yeah.
right.
So, bro, that's insane. What other movies have you been in? I read them. Uh,
I,
I see you in a lot of them, and they're all appearing on Netflix, Amazon, and even a Lifetime movie, bro.
yeah, so I've been on the Ballers with The Rock. I have a
Ah,
couple
ah.
movies on Tubi and Amazon Prime right now. One of them is Church of Darkness, and the other one is I can't. Oh man, my mind just went blank. Sorry, guys. Um, but yeah, so you know, I'm getting ready to next year at some point shoot another one. It'll be more of a I don't want to give it away, but it's kind of me and a smaller person doing some funny stuff in terms of more of a comedic side.
Okay,
So,
okay,
um, and got you know, a couple things in the fire. But my main thing right now is to get these group homes going, and just bought a lawn care service. So we you know, we got that going. Got over
okay.
300 and something accounts. So busy with that too.
Keep me posted, man. If there's anything I can do, I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to, point you in the right direction with some of this stuff because that's what we're working on ourselves. Now, you have a slogan, and I said, "Oh my God, that's a dope slogan." And explain overcome obstacles with excellence.
Yeah, so you know, like, so a lot of people don't know is after football, I went through a very, very, very deep depression. Um, Football to me was like a bad breakup, bad marriage, and for a while there, I couldn't, you know, I didn't want to talk about it, I didn't want to look at it, I didn't want to do anything of that nature. And it was a depression where you know, normally everybody who know me know that I'm the jokey type, that I'm always gonna crack a joke or something of that nature. And during this period, the jokes just wasn't coming,
Yeah.
and my life was just feeling like I was just walking in circles. And one night I found myself in front of a church with a 45 in my lap, and
Mm,
I didn't know if I wanted to be here anymore. You know, I felt like, you know, the last thing that I loved outside of my family was taken care of. Take was gone when that was football. And people say, well, how you allow football to make you feel like that? And you don't know. You don't know. You know, when the lights get shut off that fast, and there's no blueprint on life after, you don't know how to react. You know, you don't know how to feel. And
Mhm.
for a lot of us, it's a real serious thing that people, they don't understand that when the autographs stop and the likes stop and the love somewhat stops, there's a real effect behind all of that for some, not all, for some. And
Mhm.
I fell into that, that trap of wanting to continue to be who I was and not having a plan for life after. So uh, I'm glad I was a coward that night and not did the ultimate, but that was a part of my maturation process in my life and what I wanted to do and how I want to go forward. And I always tell young kids, get a plan for life after, get a
Mhm.
plan because you may not end up being a coward. And football and sports are not everything. They're
Yeah.
not everything. They're just a part of your life. Don't make it all your life. And I think if you talk to a lot of us from back then, that's all we ever talked about. It was NFL or bust. I'm
Oh
gonna play
yeah.
till I'm 50 years old, and
Yeah.
that's not really reality. And so, that's in a sense that's my truth. And I actually forgot I got off on that, but I forgot about the question. But I wanted to make a point that
No, no, that's what I needed to hear. That's exactly what I needed to hear right there. So let me ask you this, and it's a great segue. So, and I mentioned that you have your hand in a lot of things, uh, uh, and you mentioned the depression. Could you could you channel? Are you channeling everything as far as what you're doing these days to break away from that? And by that I mean you're throwing yourself into so much work these days. Is that to get your mind off the depression of not playing football, or I mean, because I hear boxers go through this. I'm not sure, but I have a few boxer friends and they say the same.
yeah. So I think a part of it is, but I think more of it right now is to look at my grandbabies to know that what my
Yeah.
wife and I is building and know that when I look at my mom, I'm able to take care of my mom. Because I went broke twice. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go back and get it from the muscle twice.
Mhm.
And a lot of people they're not built for that. You know what I'm saying? Hell, my
Yeah.
wife ain't built for that. Man.
Mhm.
But I'm built for that. So I know.
Mhm.
I did that for us. And
Yeah.
so for me, it's A, not to go back to that. B, it's looking at my grandkids and understanding that I'm building a future for them.
Mhm.
Um, and C, make sure I always take care of my mom as a promise to her. So, and four, obviously, is to help, and D is to help others as much as I can. So a lot of that, man, a lot of that is just, and a lot of my work ethic is being able to, seeing my mom at a young age just really like work, not miss days and go to work and provide for her two children and you know what I'm saying. So that's all I've been doing lately is just putting my head down, getting to work, man, because it's a lot of people that look at me and watch me and whether they were looking to see me fail or grow, whatever. I'm still gonna give them a show. You know what
There,
I'm saying?
there you go.
So
There you go. Right
you
on.
know,
I tell the kids in my youth foundation this. I tell them this because I have a slogan too. Your best attribute is your hustle.
yes.
Your best attribute is your hustle. And obviously you have a lot of that because you I seem from what you were saying, I seem to see that you will not let your family lose.
Absolutely not. And I think going back to overcoming obstacles with excellence, that was part of that time where I was going through what I was going through. And so for me, it's just understanding that, yeah, we all have obstacles, but how are you going to handle that? What are you going to do about it?
Mhm.
You going to let that obstacle beat you up? You going to let
Right,
it deter you off the railroad track of life that you're trying to walk?
right.
You know what I mean? Or you gonna overcome it with excellence. And excellence is being a boss about it. However it's gonna turn out, it's gonna turn out. But at least you trying to do the right thing to make it happen. And
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
so that's kind of how I look at it. You know, some people look at obstacles and say, "Man, I don't feel like doing nothing to battle that. I don't feel like nah. If it ain't life or death, you always got a chance of winning, man.
You better say it again.
For real.
This gonna go viral, just so you know, because we need the kids to hear this. This
Yeah.
is gonna go viral. So now we got a couple of fun questions. So, uh, y- what is you mentioned the Knowles being 8-0. Do you actually see these guys going uh undefeated? And if we have a hiccup, and I don't want to wish that on us because we need this one. Do who gives us the biggest threat as far as going undefeated?
As funny as it sounds, I think it would be Florida.
Yeah, I
I
actually agree
think
with
it. I think it'll be Florida. Why? Because we at Florida. It's a
that.
rivalry game.
Mhm.
They're not as bad as people think they are.
I agree.
They
I
just
agree.
playing teams that's doing a little bit better than them on Saturdays. We
Hmm.
have to do what we have to do great. We have to be great at what we're great at.
Hmm.
I think the offensive coordinator need to mix it up a little bit. Offensive coordinator need to mix it up a little bit more in terms of screens, going down the field with number 14 a little bit more. I mean, when you
I
got a
agree.
6'7" guy and you running them on slants and things, no, man, no.
Yeah,
Throw the
I
ball
agree.
downfield. Like you can throw it up into the stadium lights. He the only one that's gonna be able to go get it.
I totally agree. I've been saying that. Why are they not just go putting a go route on Johnny and letting him go get it? Nobody can jump with this guy. Nope, nobody's gonna be
My
able to jump with him.
people say, well, that don't make sense to do that for a whole game. Well, it don't make sense to be doing plays behind the line of scrimmage the whole game either.
Tell him, tell
So, I mean, I'm gonna take my chances on throwing it to him, and either you're gonna get a pass interference, or he gonna catch it. It
him.
ain't
Yeah,
too many other choices.
yeah. There's absolutely not. And I'm saying this guy should have he should have at least 1,400 yards by the end
Easy.
of the season. But he's run into a couple of injuries, and that's going to stop his progression. But I hope he gets it back together. So here's what I wanted to ask you to Connell. So with Dion kind of separating himself away from Florida State, and with good reason because he has his own thing. Uh, More people are starting to call Florida State a Peter Warwick school. Do you agree with that?
In terms of,
In terms of celebrating the brand. You know.
um, I I mean, I look at the thing with Dion is Dion is a walking billboard, man.
Hmm.
Dion understands marketing,
Yeah.
and Dion understands money and
Hmm.
dollars and
Hmm.
how to intertwine those two to make it make sense for him and his
Hmm.
kids. How can you be mad at that?
Yeah.
Um, they crucified him for going to JSU and leaving,
Hmm. Hmm.
but anybody that lives on this green earth want to be in a position of the highest of the highest hierarchy. I don't think you would look at Coach Bowden and say he should have stayed at West Virginia or Sanford.
Not at all.
So don't ask Dion to do that. If he want to disassociate himself from FSU, we all know that he is FSU. So I mean, he can say that because he probably just disturbed by some things.
Yeah.
And I try to tell people all last year or the year before, go get Dion. It's not about if he can coach or not. It's
Yeah.
about what he can bring. And what he's
I
going to
agree.
bring is he's going to go out and get all of these kids from Florida and keep them home. Now
Yeah.
he's going to go, now he got to go get kids from Florida and bring them to Colorado, which he's going to do.
Yeah. I
So,
think he's gonna do it.
yeah, so it's kind of like you got to pick and choose what you want and what you think, what you need at that moment. And to me, I thought he'd have been a great addition as a head coach at Florida State. But hey,
I,
I like Coach Norvell. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
I think he's doing a great job. Again, being a legendary coach, you have to be consistent in doing a great
mhm.
job, and that's how Coach Bowden was. He had some stumble years in the beginning, but he had a consistent streak of being a great coach, and you have to have a consistency when you want to be called legendary. So
Yeah, let's hope he can do that. So here's do you see Jordan winning the Heisman, or if you don't, who wins it before he does?
I would say him and the gentleman, the young guy out of the quarterback out of University of Washington. I like him.
Oh, Penix.
Penix
Yeah,
Jr. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think he's pretty good. But I love my Jordan. I
me
think
too.
for me, I mean, I, I think he's doing just as good or better than any quarterback out there.
I've been saying
I
that.
mean, his movements, he can run, he can throw. He's very smart. Um, I mean, I tell you, if the line can hold up and Benson can get rolling early on any of this team, I don't care who it is, put them out there. We'll beat them down on Tennessee Street right now.
He went straight to Tennessee.
Yes, sir. I put us up against anybody. The Michigan, Ohio State, uh, whoever else up there. Michigan, Ohio State. What's the
Uh,
other one?
who else is there? Georgia.
Georgia. I
Yeah.
put us up against any of them right now. Anywhere. We can go on Monroe Street. We can go wherever we want to. They can get it straight up.
So here go my hard question, Connell, and you can throw yourself in here. So we play this game called Mount Rushmore. And shouts out to my co-host. He just lost his mom,
Mm,
Jody. He just lost his mom today. So shouts out
condolences.
to him, and everybody send him prayers. So
Condolences.
uh,
Yeah.
so we have a Mount Rushmore of all time Seminole greats that we do. And normally we get four because Mount Rushmore is four, but we call this Mount Brumore. So give us your five all time Seminole greats right
Woo-wee.
now.
Oh man. Well, obviously Dion.
Okay.
Ron Simmons.
Okay.
Wow, that's a tough one, boy. Dion, Ron Simmons, Charlie Ward.
Okay. Okay.
Oh man, Charlie Ward. So many in there.
Bro, I know. I know.
Gosh, Amp Leo Ward. Jeez.
Amp.
I play with Ward. I mean, I love Amp, but I'm gonna have to go with Ward.
Okay. Okay.
Um, I'll say Fred Belindikoff.
Okay. Well, hey, bro, that
I mean,
that's
I mean, that's such a hard question to just, and that's four, right?
okay.
Is
You
that
said Dion,
Ron
Ward,
Simmons,
Ron Simmons, and
Ward,
Bolitnikov so far.
four? So,
That's four.
uh, God, I would have to go Derek Brooks.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah,
I knew you were going to say that. So
yeah,
let's see who you left off. You left off Peter Warwick. Uh,
yeah.
you left off Amp Lee. Defense. I don't know. Gosh, I think Dion is the pinnacle of DBs. I mean, everybody else compare. I mean, pales
When
in.
I think about Dion changed the culture
Yeah,
of
he
Florida
did.
State.
He
You know what
did.
I'm saying? He started the new culture, that led into the '90s, that led into the 2000s.
He did. He
So
did.
with Ron Simmons, I mean, you got to get some old school love. So he
Yeah,
was one of the pioneers of the defenses back then. When you talk to Fred Blitnikoff, of course I want to put Peter Ward, but again, you got to I'm trying to break it up. Well, I'm showing some old love and you know what I'm saying, new
I
love.
like that.
So it's kind of like, you know, obviously no disrespect to P Dub, love P Dub. I mean, guys, that's such a hard question, you know. But since we got to pick, but yeah, and with Brooks and Ward, I mean, you know, it's kind of then Charlie. You got to put some of the '90s in there. So yeah, that's yeah, I'll stick with that.
That's awesome, man. So you and we'll get you out of here with that. But how did trick or treating go with the grandbaby last night? Because mine, my I had three birthdays. One of my younger daughters, her birthday was yesterday. My grandson's birthday was yesterday, and my
Wow.
niece's birthday was yesterday, and my sister-in-law's birthday all were yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, it was great, man. You know, he enjoyed it, and that's all I wanted to see. So we got another grandbaby coming in about 3 weeks, right before Thanksgiving. So
Oh Lord, good luck with
yeah,
that.
yeah, I'll be rolling all up under the bed. So yeah.
Yeah, man. So just we'll get you out of here with that, man. Bro, I've been so hyped up about talking to you all week long. It's insane. I'm glad we got a chance to do it, man. And we want to ask you to come back. And I'll drop after we get off. I'll drop Donald's phone number to you in the
Okay, okay.
inbox.
Where would this be? Where would this be at?
Uh, uh,
The podcast here?
this is all pro.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, we'll get you out of here, man. And I'm so happy you came by, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
excited.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure. Anytime, man, I'm here. It's always go nose until I die, and then bury, and then open my casket up and put my helmet on. For real.
Well, you ain't going nowhere no time soon. You'll probably be here when the dinosaurs come back.
I know.
So we love you, bro, and thank you for everything you have done for the game of football.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Love, much love back, man. And it's an honor, man, and blessing to you and the family, man. And we, let's get ready for this marvelous end to this season.
You better say it, bro. You better say it. All right, bro. We love you, man.
All right, champ.
All right.
All right.
That was the great Connell Spain. Man, that was a beautiful, beautiful interview. Before we get out of here, like I said, we want to pay tribute to my co-host Jody, his mom passed away, and it's heartbreaking. Just everybody come by and show him some love. And also, we lost the great Bobby Knight today. Uh, say what you will about him, but Coach Bobby Knight was one of the realest, and he will truly, truly be missed. I will reach out to his family on some of his social media sites and show my love. Once again, uh, you can reach us on all platforms now. We are on iHeart right now. We just got put to iHeart an hour ago. So going over to iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, and we're working on Apple right now. So thank you guys for joining All Pro.